คุณผู้ชมคะในยุคกว่า 40 ปีที่แล้วแอฟริกาใต้ต้องเผชิญกับความรุนแรงเต็มไปด้วยความขัดแย้งนะคะในยุคกีดกันสีผิวเป็นช่วงเวลาที่เนลสันแมนเดลาถูกคุมขังอยู่ในเรือนจำไม่ต่ำกว่า 27 ปีด้วยมีบาทหลวงท่านหนึ่งเป็นชาวนิวซีแลนด์ซึ่งไปต่อสู้อยู่ในทวีปแอฟริกาในห้วงเวลานั้นได้รับจดหมายที่มีระเบิดบรรจุอยู่ข้างในนะคะและเมื่อเปิดออกต้องสูญเสียแขนทั้งสองข้างสูญเสียตาไปหนึ่งข้างแต่บาทหลวงท่านนี้ไม่ได้เก็บความแค้นไว้ในใจหันมาใช้การรับฟังเพื่อเยียวยาคนอื่นด้วยในโอกาสที่มาเมืองไทยดิฉันได้สอบถามว่าการรับฟังช่วยเหลือผู้คนได้อย่างไรคะ After working for quite some time listening to people when they speak out about their pain of their memories what's the point that people you say I'm free of past memories now I am a happy person or I am a new person would that be a turning point like that moment or people need to deal with pain constantly throughout their life
what do you think I think you see do you expect that you will live the rest of your life with no pain of course not things will happen they'll happen in our relationship they'll happen in the nation they will happen in the world so we need to find tools so that we are better able to cope with the traumas that are still to come. And part of that is learning how instead of bottling the feelings up and keeping them deep inside where they're like poison, they still infect us, to in an ongoing way find safe spaces where we're able to share what has happened to us. So the pain will still happen, but we don't have to be permanent prisoners of it.
In Thailand, of course, you must have known that we also deal with pain in terms of political conflicts. So many conflicts in Thailand, especially in the past 10 years, mass protests, and there were lives lost. What should Thailand learn or what Thailand can learn from experience from South Africa in terms of dealing with national reconciliation?
It's interesting. In South Africa, when democracy came in '94, we had two giant questions. One was how do we provide water, electricity, education, healthcare to our people? The second giant question was how do we deal with the past? And there were those who said, let's bury and forget. And that has been the most popular historical option through human history. Let's bury and forget. But it's never worked nowhere yet. If you seek to bury and forget the past, it comes back to bite you. And we see conflicts around the world which today, where many of the seeds of those conflicts are unhealed wounds of the past.
Looking around the world, you must have seen challenges in terms of global violence, of fighting, war happening, battleground in many areas in the Middle East, IS, in the south of Thailand. How does healing memories or the process that you've been through can help people to think of this situation?
I think we always need to see that creating just societies at peace with themselves needs a multidimensional approach. So we need to look at the social, the political, and the economic. But when we think about nations, we think about social, political, economic, but we often don't think about the psychological, emotional, and spiritual aspects, not just of individuals, but of societies. So in combination with other actions where governments act to deal with those excluded economically or politically, can act in tandem with the kind of healing of memories work. But healing of memories work will not be successful if you're not dealing at the same time with the political, the social, and the economic. But it's one key dimension on the journey to being a world at peace with itself.
So there should be political and economic infrastructure in dealing with pain, grief,
as well as the psychological, emotional, and spiritual. Because, for example, you could tell me your story and say this happened and this happened and this happened as a story you're telling from your head. And that won't bring healing. because the poison lies not on what you think about what happened, it's in terms of what you feel about what happened. Now, if people have had horrible things done to them, they're completely justified to hate, to be bitter, to want revenge. The problem is those feelings don't destroy our enemies, they destroy us.
What's the role of role model like Nelson Mandela? He's the magnet, the role model for people to deal with post-conflict in South Africa. Do we need the same in other countries?
I think the whole human family needs positive role models. People with moral vision, people who have dealt with themselves. And it's not surprising that Mandela became a giant in the human family, not just for that South Africa. But one of my favorite quotes from Mandela that has always inspired me, Mandela said to us as a nation, he said, Mandela, I realized that if I did not leave hatred and bitterness at the prison door, I would be a prisoner forever. So as he left prison, he was already at peace with himself. He had dealt with his pain and his bitterness before he became our president. Because I hate to think what would have happened to us as a nation if Nelson Mandela had walked from prison and said, it's time for revenge. We would have died in our millions. So it's important that leaders become, in that sense, positive role models. But